Welcome back. All right, so third game is done, and it ends up being a nail biter. Two teams against one another who are fighting for the same position in the Metro Division between Pittsburgh and the New York Rangers. And Tristan Jarry, this is that bounce back. So Jarry's had a rough few starts. He'd allowed 13 goals in his last three starts coming into this one. And clearly today, not happening. So it's Shesterkin versus Jarry, and again, this is really your storyline. The whole game is how they play against one another. Strome's denied early. The Rangers get a power play. The Penguins did kill that off. Rodriguez has a rush chance that saved the shots. 6 minutes into this are 6-0 for the New York Rangers. So it is all Jarry early on, right? Trouba has a blast that's blocked. Carter had a tip on a rush. That wouldn't quite go. Jarry's keeping it scoreless in the first half. I had no idea how far that was going to go. At 12 minutes, the Penguins only had one shot. Remember, this is at home. So the crowd's kind of quiet, other than when Jarry makes big saves. Penguins get a power play. Rust has a chance that's saved. The Rangers clear it out. Good shorthanded rush by the Rangers follows that. I know Goodrow was in on that one. It's killed off. The Penguins up to 3 shots overall in the game at that point. In the last minute, there's a net feed to Gensel. It's defended and cleared. And at the horn, fists start flying. The one thing in this game was there were a lot of scrums. Like here, you've got a scrum at the Rangers net after Igor saves. Best run by the Penguins to that point. Kreider has one that's held and saved at the Penguins net, and you get a scrum after that. Now, in a lot of games we see where they'll pull one guy out, and eventually that just puts a stop to all of that. This game we didn't. We didn't see one guy get pulled out until late in the game, which didn't make people happy. We'll get to that. So the second period, due to this fist flying at the horn part, there's 2 minutes of 4-on-4 to start the second period. Zibanejad's denied in the first minute. And shortly after that, we get another 2 minutes of 4-on-4, which we would get very acquainted with during this period. Malkin and Rooney were in the box. What's interesting with that, they were the same guys that were in the box to start the period. So they just kept going at one another. Penguins did press at 5 minutes. Crosby's denied. The Rangers cleared out. Shots are 5-1 for the Penguins at 7 minutes. So while the Rangers had control of the first period, now the Penguins have control of the second period. Heinen can't bury one from the slot. Ruedel fires one high as the Penguins press again. Heinen gets denied again. As Igor's putting on quite the show at this stage of the game. Rust can't bury one from in close. Lafreniere blasts one wide, and then puck goes the other way, and Hayden gets denied for a third. Heinen gets denied for a third time. See, I put a D in it. It's a Heinen. Heinen's denied a third time. I'll go ahead and change it. It's fine. It's just a single game review. Not a big deal. Fox then has a net feed to Kreider. Near miss there. Rangers were stuck on one shot. So the Penguins get stuck on one shot in the first. Rangers get stuck on one shot in the second. This game, second period's echoing the first, just opposite. It's all opposite. It's mirror. So 8 minutes left with the Rangers stuck on one shot. Things get scrummy after Jarry deflects a puck out. We get 2 minutes of 4-on-4 again. So this is the third time in the second period we were getting a full 2 minutes of 4-on-4. Hunt and Marino were the ones that went this time. So it was not Malkin or Rooney that goes that time. More scrums, and it seemed like they were getting more frequent. Again, you keep waiting for one team to get a power play out of it just to knock it off. It wasn't happening. Letang fires one wide on a chance. Trouba in the closing seconds, he has a chance that's saved and held. So we're still scoreless after two. Third period. The hits are 29-28 for the Rangers through 2 periods. So we had 57 hits. We had 32 shots. So that tells you that this was a very hard-hitting game indeed. Rangers press at 1.5 minutes. Hunt can't bury one. Penguins were being kept to the outside when they were pressuring. Simone with a net feed, that wouldn't go. His next opportunity was blocked. Both teams were getting kind of ticked off about the non-calls. And there was a lot. There were cross-checks, there were slashes and hooks and interference. And there was stuff that was just not being called. Refs just letting everything go. Crosby has a chance that's saved and held. But then with 15:25 left, the Penguins do get a power play. And they score on it. So Malkin gets a goal from Rust and Crosby at 5:19. That's Malkin's 8th of the season. And it was great three-way passing between these guys. And if there was a third assist, it would have been Letang's. These 4 guys have all combined on a goal before. It's not that unusual to see it happening on a power play. So there you go. The Penguins have power play goals in 9 straight games. And not only that, but coming into this game, the Penguins had allowed the first goal on 10 out of 11. So there's a lot of storylines that get changed coming out of this game, and now it's a matter of making sure this isn't a one-off and that this is a pattern. Penguins then press for another. Malkin has a chance that's saved and held. A board battle leads to a whistle. So the puck gets pinned along the boards, and so they blow the whistle, and then get some more of the pushing and swearing and the punching and the kicking. And okay, there wasn't kicking. I wanted just some kind of something so I could put kicking up there, and there wasn't any. So yeah, it was getting pretty ugly down in the corner. And then the Rangers get a power play out of it. They pull one guy. They pull Pedersen for cross-checking. And yeah, we're at 11:40 left. Remember, the Penguins have just scored on the power play. Now they're giving the Rangers one, which you could say that's your even up call. But in a play like that, they'd always pulled one guy from each team out all the way through the second period, and in the first they just kind of let it go, and then in the third, now they pull one guy out of there. So a little bit of nerve-wracking moments here for Penguins fans. Fox hits the post. Kreider has a chance that's saved. Jarry gets a standing ovation on a big save that he made towards the end of that power play. Trouba has a blast that's saved as the penalty kill comes to an end for the Pittsburgh Penguins. Igor then denied rust as the Penguins press. The Rangers press right back, 6 minutes left. McGinn then fires one high. Solid defense, I thought, by both teams in the third. The odd part is that the most shots of any of the periods was in the third period, but I thought both defenses were playing pretty well. Rangers were looking for their 18th comeback win. They have 17 of them. They're still at 17, which 18 would have put them, I think they're tied for the lead in the league with 17, but don't quote me on that. Gensel's then denied from in close. Rodriguez is denied with 2:05 left. The goalie gets pulled with 1 minute and 45 seconds left, and I kind of expected an empty netter here. Marino is the empty net, and then Guentzel had a pretty good opportunity that was blocked out. So the Rangers don't allow that shot on the empty net. Zibanejad's then denied on a net drive. Lafreniere has a chance to deflect out. The Rangers did call a timeout with 25.4 seconds left. Whatever they planned, maybe it was to get it to Mika. Mika's blast is saved with about 10 seconds left. The Penguins clear it. It's not the prettiest win you're going to get, but it's a win. And for Pittsburgh, it's an important one. They win 1-0. They jump back ahead of the Rangers by a point. They're now second in the Metro. They're 32-14-8. The Rangers 33-14-5. These teams are close. Remember, this is the first of 4 meetings. This is going to be fun. Your 3 stars in this one: Jarry, Malkin, and Shesterkin. The shots: 12-6 Rangers in the first, 9-5 Penguins in the second, 10-11 Penguins in the third. Final shots: 27-26 in favor of the New York Rangers. Power plays: the Rangers 0 for 2, Pittsburgh 1 for 2 again. If the referees had called everything that was going on, we probably could have had 5 power plays for each team. Hits: 43-39 in favor of the Rangers, so 82 hits. We've seen games recently that were a throwback to the 80s when you look at the score. This feels like it was a throwback to heavy hockey of the late 90s, early 2000s. Shesterkin saves 25 out of 26. He was fantastic. Jarry saves all 27 in a really important bounce-back game for him. It is his 4th shutout this season and the 11th shutout of his career. So now it's about Pittsburgh trying to build on this. And for the Rangers, now they have to bounce back because, again, they're 1 point behind the Penguins. Now they got to try to jump back ahead of them. But again, these teams have direct competition 3 more times after this. I'm looking forward to it. Today was fun. Let me know your thoughts regarding this game in the comment section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through, you just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.